Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, is that a trick question?
Our GM's AFK.
That's okay. I'm probably a little early. I told him 8:30 and it's 8:13. Where are you located, Ray?
In Mexico.
Oh, wow.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, doing well. All right, let's see how this connection works. It's been
Where
pretty
you
crappy so far.
where you traveling at, Alex?
West Palm Beach.
Oh, that's not horrible.
It's not on the beach. It's a hotel off the
Uh,
highway, off of 95. It's
okay.
work.
Work, yeah.
Might as well be the middle of Iowa. Doesn't matter.
And where are you coming from, Ray?
New Mexico.
New Mexico. Cool.
Well,
So
sunny. Well, I'd say that, but it's sunny here. So.
it's a couple of hours earlier there. Am I?
I'm 2 hours behind East Coast time.
Yeah, so it's like quarter after
Yeah.
6, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All I know about New Mexico is Albuquerque.
I'm 4 hours south of that.
Okay.
I did something fun in preparation today. I decided, since COVID, I haven't been traveling much. I used to travel about 100, 200,000 miles a year. And then COVID hit and I just worked out of the house. So I didn't feel like flying down. So I just drove and I listened to the complete first book of Fafford and the Grey Mouser.
Oh,
It's
okay.
really good.
Was it Ilmet and Lankhmar with the cold women and the
Yeah, it was
like their
how
origin
they.
stories and how they met?
Yep, yep,
Okay,
yep.
cool.
Yeah. So it was a 8-hour trip and an 8-hour book.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yep.
It was what? Swords Against Deviltry, I think. If I'm
I
not
didn't pay
mistaken.
attention. Let's see. I can look at my Audible.
They have so many.
Let's-
What they did was they those are just basically compendiums of stories that appeared in magazines.
that's it. Swords and Deviltry. And the next one I'm working on is, where is it? Swords Against Death.
They've got really cool names. I think there's 5 or 6 of them, and 5 or 6 compendiums, and they kind of put a bunch of. They try to do it chronologically, but it doesn't work sometimes.
And it's, when you drive and you don't need to be too distracted. So
Yeah.
it's lighthearted. It's good. I enjoyed it. I don't want to be part of a thieves guild after the first one.
No, the Thieves Guild kind of sucks. The Thieves Guild are the bad guys. So
Yeah. Yeah.
actually, most of the guilds are, depending on what you want to do, are
Yeah.
the guilds are basically government for the common man.
Yeah.
Anything you can
Ray,
make $1 off of, the guilds have. There's a guild for it in Lankhmar.
yeah, I believe it. Like Ankmore Pork, is that the Rat World? Discord, what is it? Discworld.
Oh,
Ankmore Pork.
okay. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's just comedy. It's Terry Pratchett. I think
Okay.
that's who does it. And it's just like 20 or 30 books. They're just fantasy fun.
Cool.
So Ray, what were you thinking of being?
A bard?
Oh, that's right. You said that before. Bard or Skald or actually just a bard?
Just
I should
straight
say
up.
just.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try to keep things simple and go with straight up bard. I've seen this giant list of archetypes, and there's a
Yeah.
lot. And I'm familiar with a couple of them, but I think we're just going to go general bard for now.
Have you played a lot of Pathfinder, Ray?
At the table, never through this system or any other online system. And
Okay.
I am a bit rusty because in my local area, finding people that want to play Pathfinder is very difficult. So I haven't played in a while, but I'm familiar with the game.
All right, cool.
The
Uh,
difficulty for me would be adjusting to using the clickies on this system.
how are you finding it so far? Are you having any problems? Anything I
It's
could?
straightforward, but I think you took time to type in this guide.
Oh, the little instruction list. You found it.
Yeah, I'm
Found it
following
handy.
it step by step, and I can read a step, do a step, eat a banana. I can do this.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, this is very good. The last game I was in, not slamming them, they had their own way. They didn't have something like this. The guy had to verbally walk me through it. And so having done one character already and then using your step by step process, it's pretty simple.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I wanted to get it just like so you get the basics. You know how to, where to look for things and stuff like that. Uh, the one thing I wanted to be extremely clear on was the way to select the class and put it on there because it can be real problematic later on. If we have, like, say you're going to be bard, and you do it exactly the way that I described. Later on, you'll notice that under characters on the right hand side of the sheet, there's also a thing that says classes. Now you can open that button up, and it'll show you a bard. But if it comes from a different source and you drag it onto your sheet, it will it'll add it like it's a new class, even though it is a bard, unless it came from that exact same source. So there's about a 50-50 chance of getting it wrong and having to start fresh again.
Oh, gotcha. I was about to say if we happen to level up to 2, I got to go back to this list and pick the plain bard to get bard level 2.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
absolutely.
if I pick, for example, bard archivist, then I'm level 1 bard archivist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And when you, if you're messing around and you drag something on the sheet and you want to take it off, when you do take it off, it doesn't take those adds. Like say it adds 1 to your BAB, it doesn't take it off when you take it away from your sheet. So it'll mess things up.
Gotcha. So it's good to have backup data for the characters, so you know where things were.
Yep.
What levels 1 and 2 probably not so much, but I would imagine higher levels having that information handy.
Yeah, for sure. It's not so much the building of the actual character itself. It's just all the equipment and everything later on. Having to go back and recreate every little step is it can get problematic. That's why I wanted to do everything in the room the first time, and we all have a rough idea of how it works and stuff like that. So we can, when it comes time to level up, we do all just bang it out in the room. I don't. I actually would expect people would have done on their Hero Labs or PC Gen stuff like that. Some rough mock-ups of what they want it to be. But I ran another campaign a couple years ago, and there was a couple characters who like to build their characters in Hero Labs. So I had to import it every time, and then I had to go back and drag all their equipment over to the new sheet. It was just like, it just became such a pain. I dreaded level ups. And we don't want that. We want it to be a time of fun.
I jotted some notes down for how to build the character, but I would say my character sheet on my pencil and paper scribblings here would be 50 to 60% done. I have 0 equipment purchased, and there's some character details that are incomplete.
Yeah, well, that's fine. That's perfect.
Yeah.
We've got the important part. You've got you drag the race on there. You drag the class on there. Everything else we can mess with. That's perfect.
Yeah, I'm near the end of step 5.
Awesome. That's all I did for. I wasn't sure how much experience everyone had with using the fantasy grounds that much, but I'm glad that we got this far, and we can. You let me know what you want to do next, and I'll guide you through it verbally. The spells. Did you load your sources? like I described in the.
I think so. It was on my list already. I'm thinking, and correct me if I'm wrong, but since I'm in another Pathfinder campaign, I loaded a lot of Pathfinder materials from that. A lot of that was already loaded.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think there was one or two that I had to drag to open up, but I followed it from step one on, so it was pretty simple.
Okay, great.
So far I haven't had an issue.
All right, excellent.
Yeah.
Spells. We're going to do that the same way that we did the classes. There's a module that Tal was good enough to point me towards that has all of the stuff that we need built right into it. And if we use that as opposed to the one that actually I purchased, like the core rule stuff that doesn't have all that stuff built in, we'll have so much of an easier time. But it doesn't break the sheet if we have to replace one or two. It's not a big deal. So if you want to look at that right now, I can
Sure.
give you a quick talk through. Okay.
Where
So on your character sheet under the actions tab,
okay.
it's the very bottom one.
Yep.
It'll already have Bard in there. If you hover over the little star kind of thing, it'll say spontaneous caster sorcerer. That just means you cast spells spontaneously. It doesn't mean you're a sorcerer.
Right. Well, let's see. It says point spellcaster scion.
Okay, so if you click on that again, it'll
I
go
see. Find
go to
sorcerer.
wizard. Yep, there we go.
Weird. Okay.
It's just basically how the spells get cast. So if you see that little, it's almost like a magnifying glass on an angle, just right beside CC, concentration check.
I see. I expanded it out.
Okay, expanded it out. Perfect.
Yeah.
You got your spells already in there.
It
Cool.
says level 0 spells 0.
You just put in how many spells you have.
I have to pull it from the chart. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so it didn't automatically load it. I have to just go look at the chart real quick.
Yeah.
And base it off my casting stat. And I think spells known is unaffected, but spells per day is affected by that chart.
Yeah. This is the spells per day. The 0
Right.
and 1. That's the spells per day.
Okay.
The spells.
So it's just for 0 level spells, it's infinite. So I guess the symbol is that just 0.
Actually,
And-
it's how many spells you know on that one for the 0.
Okay, I'll go look at the chart.
It's either 3 or 4, probably.
I think it's 4, but I'll just double check.
Yep, 4.
And 2 for level 1, so we're good there. It was right.
Yep, so that is 1 spell for your spell per day and then 1 spell for your charisma. Okay, so we have, if you go into modules and under the library, click on the 2 folders where the modules come up again.
Okay.
And we scroll down to just past where the PFRPG Compendium, PFRPG Classes and Archetypes, and the PFRPG Spellbook. If you click on the PFRPG Spellbook, you'll get a bunch of lists in the right-hand side. You'll see Bard spells.
Well, that's handy. The other
Sure.
way, I was playing a cleric, and I had to list all the spells, and I had to find the ones I wanted. This is all bard spells, so
Yep,
at least
it's all Bard spells.
a little easier to pick and choose.
So what you want to do is, if say you want to take dancing lights, you want to just drag dancing lights over to level 0, and then in the level 0 bar, just let it go, and it'll populate. There we go. Detect magic.
Okay. it had the new spell and a blank.
Yeah, those. I think those are just from. Did you click on the plus add item?
No, but I
Okay,
can get rid of.
I can get rid of it. I can edit
Yeah.
the list. We'll get rid of that for you. All right. And feel free to drag 3 other more. There we go. All right, for level 1, you'll just scroll down to see the list of level 1 spells. Same thing, just grab the spells that you want to know. I think you've got what spells known 2 per day? Yep, 2. 2 spells per day and 2 castings of. And then just drag it right into the level 1 line. And these aren't, I'm not going to hold you to any of these. If you want to change them at any time, that's not a problem.
Just checking to see if my computer's working because it froze up trying to download modules.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That could be a little intensive. That's why I just wanted to keep it to those 2.
Okay. Yeah, I got 6 megabit connection here at best.
Yeah.
So I created basically 3 alternatives of one character and then an alternate character just in case. Some people aren't big fans of the summoner.
Okay.
Not because I don't do the spammy type where you're just littering the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to like to do some fun with an Eidolon.
Okay.
But it can be abusive. So I always do the Unchained so it doesn't go too crazy.
Okay.
And the other thing is it just depends on the group because there's like 3 I came up with. One of them is a demon type, which is just a DPR. Another one is the Azada, which is more like a tank type player. And the third one is a Fae, which is more, I call it the semi-skill monkey. But if we have a bard, I don't know that we need a skill monkey. And then the last thing is some people just say, oh, I have had bad experiences with summoners, so I did a swashbuckler. Just as a, so I was just going to see what the, kind of what your feeling is on things and the other players. If we have a tank, I don't want to upstage a tank.
I don't actually think anyone's professed an inclination towards either like a straight up rogue or a straight up fighter or anything like that.
I think the biggest hit dice here is going to be a D10 if the ranger still exists.
Yeah, and I think that was Tal, I think, and he was wavering between ranger and oracle.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hey, Tal,
Hello.
how are you?
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Good.
I appear to no longer have a character to select. Oh well.
Sai, how are you?
I am doing great. Was caught up,
Yeah.
but I'm now here.
Yeah, hey, I can do, like the hunter, which is more of a martial class, or my oracle, which is secondary fighter and and kind of a not full heal bot, but some heal abilities. Either one would be fun for me. So you guys just put together what you want finally, and I'll choose one.
Well, what do you want to play?
Yeah. You guys,
I'd be happy with either. Actually, I built them both to be kind of fun, so I'm gonna let you guys make the decision, and I'll just pick one.
I had my eyes set on a sorcerer, focusing on making sure the enemies can't approach us or do anything substantial. But I can make something else if we have too many casters or if we need like a front line.
All right, I can create a front line then, a semi-front line, an Eidolon that can hold the line.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right,
I
and
think you can stick with the sorcerer. We'll need that caster. I mean,
Yeah, that arcane caster. Even if they are maybe not quite as good as wizards, but that spontaneousness
yeah,
is handy.
At least a caster, and I can do my my oracle.
I was also thinking
Okay,
about
no.
clerics because you like me a good old cleric.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, if
Nobody
you love
volunteers for
playing
cleric.
full bot, go ahead. I was either doing my oracle or war priest just to get a little bit of excitement in there instead of a full.
I was honestly thinking not quite full heal bot, but very martially focused cleric who has healing on the side for when it's needed. Because those spontaneous heals, I assume you can still spontaneous cast the cure spells in
absolutely.
Pathfinder.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
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 But
Yeah,
you
those are
have those.
definitely handy.
They have something even better in Pathfinder. Clerics have so many bursts of what's
Yeah.
it called?
Channel energy.
Where you can
Channel. Yep. Channel.
channel
Yeah,
energy.
channels.
Which is
Yeah. Channels are great, especially a lot of people use divine meta magics for their channels to get
Yep.
stuff like not divine favor. I forget which 4th level spell it was that makes you really good. It gives you basically a full like fighter base stack bonus and more strength and shit.
Yeah. There's some good spells in for the cleric if you want to play that. Got some really good buffs spells. Awesome healing stuff.
Yeah, I'm more than willing to play one. I had my eyes on that sorcerer, but my eyes can shift to other things if needed.
If no one's playing a caster, I'll switch to a caster because I think we'll probably need one.
I think everyone's playing a caster.
Oh,
We all
really?
have casting, it seems.
Well, Ray's going to be a bard, so he's got magical ability.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
basically,
So I was
basically
thinking
2/3. He goes
sorcerer.
to 6.
There was the summoner was being talked about, and
Yeah, I'll do a DPR tanky one. So it'll be high armor class.
High armor class,
Good amount of
absorbing
damage.
a lot of hits. I assume high armor class, high DR, fast healing, such and such.
Okay, so let's do a tally. So we got a commitment on a tank, right?
An Eidolon tank, which means there's
Okay.
plenty of ways to destroy the tank.
Yeah, absolutely.
It can, however, be recreated.
Yeah.
Yes.
If it dies, it can be brought back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got your flanking buddy and all that good stuff.
Who's my
And
thinking?
then, And then who's? I'm thinking what we want to play that's fun for us, right? So tank sounds like it's something that you're committed to. You feel like you want to do a tank. That's good. Someone wants to do a full-time cleric. That's cool too. Yeah.
I don't think we have that so far.
We don't have one of those. I'm willing to do one, but I had my eyes on that sorcerer specializing mostly in fears. Debuffing the enemy, making sure they cannot do anything to us.
Then do it.
Do it. Do the sorcerer.
I
I will do the oracle, which is like a healer as well.
A little bit of shadow magic splashed in there.
Yeah.
Always fun.
And then you got the bard who just keeps everybody up.
So we have 2 6th-tier casters and 2
inspired.
9th level casters. Because I'm pretty sure Oracle also goes up to 9th.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, they're
Oracle
basically
Barrels.
It's sorcerer.
they're basically the sorcerer. Yeah, the sorcerer of clerics.
Yeah, basically.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think with are we having 4 players or 5? I wasn't sure.
There's another gentleman, Nasdaq, who's going to drop in by. He's
Oh, he's undecided, right?
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
what about Gwennybot over there? Or is that just a
Gwennybot-
bot?
Yeah, she was just a player from one of my other games.
Ah, just a straggler.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah, I think these 3 commitments so far is a good base. Now we just need to supplement it, right? So we could use like another, marshal. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone
we can
here
use-
has casting. Everyone here specializes in casting. Having someone who could do some martial capabilities,
Yeah.
either as a supplement in the case of because we're not always going to be able to throw magic willy nilly.
Right.
Perhaps someone who could have a hit die beyond like D6.
Yep.
Especially because I'm probably going to have a couple D4s from some
Actually,
future class levels.
Yeah, D4s are D6s now in Pathfinder.
Not for prestige classes because those didn't make the cut over to Pathfinder.
Oh, they didn't, huh? Okay. I thought they were all at least as D6.
I looked around. No, in 3.5, casters for D4s.
No, I know, but this is Pathfinder. I play a Mystic Thurge and it's a D6.
Yeah, I was looking around to see if they had the Dread Witch and the Nightmare Spinner and such like that. I couldn't find anything. It's fine. It's effectively 1 health lost per level. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
The averages are not too big.
Well,
I should
I'm hoping
survive
that
as
the
long as they
GM will
don't
see
get
us
killed.
have a well-rounded and having fun, and he won't kill us, so we don't have to worry too much about.
Also, there are 3 people here who use charisma. Actually,
Yeah.
4.
4?
Don't oracles use
Everybody.
charisma?
Everybody.
Yeah, charisma. Yeah. So we'll schmooze the hell out of this campaign.
Exactly.
Everybody's the face.
We are collectively Mr. Smooth.
Yeah. We are collectively the face of the party.
We have a lot of faces.
Well, that's cool.
So I have a I'm working on this. I've been using this this oracle that I've kind of played around with the background idea of like the secluded oracle, and she is basically using a long spear to trip shit from a distance, and she gets really nervous around her allies, so she keeps clear, like she stays away. So she's got this thing where if she's next to them, she actually gets a -1 to her attacks and AC. So she's always like, nearby to trip shit, but so I've been working with this idea of just doing that and just kind of like make them fall and easy to hit.
Yeah,
and then just hang back and
in her bubble.
yeah, exactly. And then just hang back and like when there's healing, she'll just do a burst from channeling, and things like that. So I've been playing with this idea for a long time, and it's pretty fun.
All right, cool.
For me.
We going to take the life
Sounds
mystery?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, great.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to put down Oracle, and the 5th person is pretty much open to whatever he wants to play.
Yeah, we've got everything except for a rogue and a fighter type. So
And actually... No, actually...
I can technically fill the... Technically speaking...
Yeah, I know!
The Eidolon could,
Could be the trap disabler.
yeah, exactly.
I can do that. I can put
Let's
a
walk into
skill point
traps.
into it.
Mm-hmm. There are definitely traps around
I can't.
here.
How do you adjust the abilities?
I'm sorry?
I was trying to adjust the strength, dex, con, and all that. I'm missing something here.
Okay, let's see.
I thought I'd just click on the box.
Yeah, you just click on the gray box under score, and you put in your abilities, and it adjusts the ability automatically on the bonus box.
Ah, there we go. Got it.
Okay. It just doesn't. Okay, it just doesn't showcase it. All right, and we're doing 25.5.
We just happen to be at 10, which is no bonus. That's why nothing's showing up.
It just looks weird. Yeah, I understand the confusion.
For bringing feats in, do we use the modules and find somewhere there to drag the feat in?
Yeah,
but you don't need to worry. It's not as important if it goes on your sheet because it's not going to populate and do anything automated.
yeah. Mechanics won't be there. You have to create effects and stuff like that. And we can work with that.
Yeah. So just under characters.
Honestly, I was planning on manually
just open
adding
the
everything.
feats, and then just scroll through till you find it, and you can drag any one of those ones over.
And
Honestly,
they go
I was
into
planning
your
on manually
abilities.
doing everything.
Yeah.
Who needs automation?
It's good for leveling up if you have it handy. If we start at the
Definitely would be, yeah.
yeah, you don't want to have to rebuild a character sheet at every level. It just becomes a nightmare.
Just to confirm, we were doing... What was the actual stance? Just to confirm, were we doing 25 point buy? Were we doing...
25.
I think everybody wanted to do 25 point buy. If you want to roll, feel free. But I think the consensus was 25 point buy.
I like knowing what I can get.
I think 3 people committed to 25, but I think it's open.
I did a game that later collapsed before we actually started playing, but we rolled our stats, and my highest rolled stat with 3 different arrays was a 15. And
Man, that's rough.
Well, on top of that, another player's lowest stat was a 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like very unbalanced.
Yeah.
I was like a commoner compared to the party.
Yeah. Well, 15 is not a commoner, you know?
Well, I understand that, but compared to whatever else got.
Yeah, I mean, 15 is up there, man. 10 is a commoner.
No, I hear you.
That's 5th level spells, my man.
I was in company of gods.
And it's all relative, right?
Yeah.
You add an Eidolon into this character sheet.
We have to build one.
Yeah, you have to build it like a character sheet.
Like a character sheet, yeah.
Okay. All right.
And my my sorcerer or my summoner ease is very rusty.
Let me go ahead and check. What are my class skills again? Pathfinder, Sorcerer.
So, specific question for the Bard and how this mechanic works in this series. So, at level 2, I'll get an ability that can make a perform skill. I can use that skill in place of, say, diplomacy. How do I make that happen? It's called versatile performance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't need to do it now. I'm only level 1. But
Yeah.
I'm curious how it works.
So let's say you get to use... I know exactly what you're talking about. So basically, we just make an effect to substitute whatever you need to do for another one in the effects, and you can toggle on and off.
So I just go in the skills tab.
You just do your skills as normally in the tab, but when you're ready to roll it and using another to substitute it out for whatever versatility you're using, you can just actually tell the GM, oh, this is going to be that roll.
Yeah, and then you just roll.
We don't have to make it complicated, or we can make an effects to actually show up as the versatility substitute.
I'm seeing in here where you could change the base stat. Like, for example, if something's charisma based and you want to make it dex based. That's just an example.
Oh, yeah, you can do that too. You can.
But that wouldn't account for all the points, but at least there's some flexibility there. Yeah.
Yep.
Notice that craft is not a listed option.
Craft? It should be if you click at the top and you need to add them.
Yeah, I'm adding it in right.
Yeah, I went and added all the knowledges and important performs, Not everyone has all the knowledges accessible. I guess that's another thing. The Bardic lore gets a bonus, but I don't see where it shows that.
I don't have knowledge though. Let me go ahead and add.
The bonus goes where for the Bardic lore?
So you get half your Bard level, minimum 1, to every knowledge check.
Okay, so we would, when that goes up, we would just manually enter that in.
Okay. In the skills tab, you can put it in the miscellaneous column.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the traits I have gives a +1 to knowledge local. So in my miscellaneous, it would say +2, Bardic lore, and...
Yeah, you just tally up all the bonuses and put it in the miscellaneous.
Okay.
Certain things will do it automatically based on your abilities, and then other things you have to kind of manually track.
Right.
For example, reactionary, you would put that in combat as miscellaneous in the combats tab, in your miscellaneous. And if you have improved initiative, you just put 6 in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to spell it out in the notes place, so in case I forget or somebody forget, it's all there. So
Yeah,
great.
believe you take max hit points at level 1.
Yep.
Let's confirm.
We haven't decided on what to do for hit points beyond level 1. I'm okay with max hit points all the way through. I'm also okay with average hit points all the way through. I'm also okay with
Average round up or round down?
I think it already has a designated.
I know in 5e it's round up, but I don't know if that's the case for Path.
I think it's round up. I think for fighters it's 7. For clerics it's 6. For
7 for clerics, it'd be 5 for clerics. They're d8s, right?
yeah, you're right.
7 for barbarians.
Actually, I think it's 8 for barbarians. 8, 7, 6.
It's 6. The average of a d12 is 6.5.
Oh, okay. Well, stand corrected. I think it is higher though.
D12. Yeah. Yeah.
When you drag the class onto the sheet, it'll automatically go average.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and
There's
drag a source.
there's one other method that's fun. Any of you guys watch the Glass Cannon podcast?
Excuse me.
Okay, so what they do is they roll for hit points, but instead of just taking what you get, they pick another person to roll with. So you both roll and you take the best one, and if it's a tie, you re-roll it.
That's fine. I can do any of them.
But it honestly, I'm good with whatever you guys want to do.
Choose a favorite class from the ones below. Source.
I have no idea how to create an item here.
Is there
what
a
class to
spot?
pick?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't.
Sorry.
I don't think. I think we build it more like an NPC than a character class. No.
Okay, I can just put in like its abilities and AC and all that. And then I can send you the Hero Lab character sheet with all the build information.
Sure, that sounds fine, and I can muck around. I can just manually tweak everything.
Okay. I use Hero Labs, so I can send you all the things. I bought everything on Hero Labs.
Hero Lab doesn't work for me that well.
No. What I'm saying is I'll type it in, but I'll send the stuff to you as a side reference. So, if you have any questions, you can refer to it. I'm not asking you to type or pull anything in.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no worries. 'Cause like I say, the Hero Lab, I don't really have the program. I don't really use it, so. It's on my computer, but I don't own any resources for it.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. Now, so how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Did you figure out how to get into Fantasy Grounds?
Oh, I'm actually driving right now.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'm very proficient. Well, not very, but I'm proficient enough in Fantasy Grounds.
All right, excellent. We won't worry about that then. So how's everything going?
Well, things are good. I'm excited about this game. I mean, gosh, it's so funny, Lankhmar. I haven't heard that name in forever, so it's kind of a blast from a past. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's an oldie. They the source that I'm using for most of the stuff is from '86.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was looking in old dungeon magazines for adventure ideas and stuff like that, and on the page, or one of the first pages of Dungeon Magazine #2 was the big Lankhmar advertisement. It's pretty cool.
Oh no. Cool. I remember I played like a hex game with little like chips, and you could be Gray Meowser or Pew or whoever, and it was a whole adventure game.
Oh yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
That was like a board game almost, but it was a little different.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That was from the 70s.
Yeah, well, I might have been like, I'm 50, so I was like maybe 8 or 9.
Yeah. I'm
I don't
53. I'm
remember.
53. So yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, cool! That's kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's one of the first things that TSR ever put out was that Lankhmar
Oh,
game.
no shit.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Yeah, so I brought back some memories.
The guys are just talking about ironing out their character choices and stuff like that. It looks like we have a summoner with a tank Eidolon. We got a sorcerer, a bard, and an oracle.
Charisma in here.
It's
What was
it's the charisma,
what was
the all charisma team.
okay? Well, what was the party again? A bard, an oracle,
A bard, an oracle,
A
a sorcerer, and a summoner.
a summoner. Oh wow. Okay. Well,
Unchained, non-abusive.
non-abusive summoner. Oh, okay. Those exist.
Yeah, I'm doing soulbound, so I don't spam the thing with creatures. And soulbound means you have one
Strength, yeah.
critter. That's it. And I was saying before folks got on, I can do one that is a DPR. I can do one that's more like a classic tank, and I can do one that's a little bit like a skill monkey. So whatever makes sense.
Well, gosh. Oh boy. So this is going to be a low magic game. Is it going to be like high intrigue or high combat or?
It was going to be more what this first adventure was me trying to throw a Halloween adventure together for my friends who I played with for like 3 years. We ran through Return of the Rune Lords, and we were getting near the end of that campaign, and I wanted to give the DM a break. So I ran a Halloween adventure, and I ran it in Lankhmar, and we had a lot of fun. And what I did was I built a couple other adventures behind that. So that's how we're going to start. But after that, I'm going to tailor it to you guys. So if we have a bunch of magic, we'll work with magic. If we have a bunch of roguey types, we'll go roguey types. If we have some explorer types, we'll go explorer types. It's just I'm going to base it on what you guys want to do. But
Okay.
the first campaign arc is just going to kind of introduce everybody and set things up.
Okay.
All the standard stuff within a city will pretty much take place. You're going to need
And how fast is the progression?
we're going to use
leveling.
We're going to use medium progression. So by the time this little 3 adventure arc finishes, I'd say you're probably going to be well on your way to 3rd level if you're not there already.
Oh, okay. That's good. Gosh, I don't. Seems like the party's got everything covered. I'm just trying to determine what. I'll just play whatever based on what the party needs. Party seems to have everything covered. I usually
I've
play
got a silly rules question.
Sure thing.
So sorcerers start off with eschew materials.
Yeah.
But also things such as silent spell and still spell exist.
Yes.
I have a question because I know that according to the mouth of God, spells, even if they have no components, have a sort of strange effect that can be seen. I want to know if that's true in your settings.
No, actually, it's probably more the opposite. So what I was going to do...
I understand it definitely still provoke opportunity attack because you would have to focus and lower your guard, but I want to know if it's perceptible as obvious magic to someone who's like, what's he doing?
Yeah, it's not. And a lot of the effects we're going to make it less visible,
Yeah.
Less flash and bang, more mental.
Also, a secondary thing. I know that eschew materials does not work with foci, unfortunately, despite the fact they fulfill very similar roles. I assume that's still going to be the case, so if I want to use silent image, I'm still going to need that piece of fleece.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Just confirming that.
Yeah, we don't want to take away from the fun of grabbing those foci items and stuff like that. There's going to be a little adventures here and there for doing little side things and stuff like that too. So it's going to be part of my toolbox.
Yeah, the ability to eschew materials that don't have a component cost more than a gold piece is going to be very handy.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, the real question is... which one of you said that you were waiting on more information before you made your character?
Yeah, that's
forget.
NASDAQ. That's me.
Did you have any ideas in mind? Like, did you want one of our roles? Because if you wanted to play a sorcerer, I'm willing to switch off sorcerer and do something different.
Oh, I typically always play an oracle or a wizard. So,
well, there's room for that. I mean, it doesn't have to be. There doesn't have to be anything specific.
I mean, we can all be mages. That's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I think. Yeah, Oracle's interesting because with all the mysteries, you can
exactly.
So
you
many
can tailor it
things.
to, for sure.
Okay, yeah, I'll be an Oracle.
Okay.
I like oracles, and I have no clue which mystery, but I'll figure one out.
All right, cool.
And then, can we roll? You roll for stats, or it's the 25-point buy?
I think most guys would do a 25-point buy, so let's just keep it at that.
Okay, that's fine.
Every time I add a spell, I get an error, but it adds the spell anyway.
Okay. Let's see here.
Question.
Yep.
I don't know if it's a piezo thing. Let me actually confirm that before I ask the question.
Okay. So let's see here. Who is having problems adding the spell?
Alex, character.
Okay.
Alex.
So whenever that happens, it's always based on the resources that you have loaded into the game room.
Okay.
And the spells that you're dragging over aren't necessarily loaded. I would suggest, when it comes to spells, I would suggest that you download the module PFRPG-spellbook. That's going to have all the effects pre-done for us.
Yeah, did you download that already?
Across.
Okay, so
yeah.
So when you drag,
I can try.
When you drag,
this is my travel. Sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. When you drag the spells over, are you dragging them from the module? Like under modules, if you click on PFRPG Spellbook in the right-hand column, you'll see a list of a bunch of spell lists, and you can click on Summoner spells.
Yep. Well, I opened up spells.
Okay.
I just typed in the name because I've only got like 6 spells. And
Okay.
then I just dragged like Rejuvenate Eidolon PFRPG Spellbook.
Okay.
Here, I'll delete it and then I'll put it back. Let's just delete it.
So,
Okay. And I'm going to drag it.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
And I say level 1.
So before you do more spells, any spellcasters, the only book you should be using if we want to use effects, which would be really useful, is to turn them all off and use the one that's the PFRPG-spellbook. Activate that and use spells from there. Yep.
Yeah. Just because it's got all the effects already done. And that one, did you get an error message when you dragged that over?
I did, but I can. This is my travel computer. It's not as good as my home computer. I can do it again when I get home.
Okay, because it's got the effects built in right there, so that's the proper one. And the mage armor doesn't have the effect built in, so that one is from the actual core rules. So you have to have the core rules loaded so we can get the races in there.
So,
And,
right.
and the equipment stuff.
Okay. I'll load everything probably when I get back on Friday.
Yeah, it's no problem. There's no great rush for all this. That's a pretty decent selection of spells.
Who's keeping the list? What do we got? We got
a summoner with a tank eidolon, a sorcerer, a bard, and 2 oracles. So far.
I'm dropping my Oracle if someone's playing Oracle.
Okay. He was going to play a different type of oracle. That's...
Let's see. I'm looking for. So, what are the expectations that you want us to adhere to as we're making characters?
I just want you to think about what your character is doing in the city. Like, are they new arrivals? Are they lifelong Lankhmars? Are they, just your motivations? And it's hard because everything's been kind of, I've glossed over a lot of details, specifically, just until I see what we're working with precisely. But I just want you to have like a rough idea of what brings you to this city. That's pretty much the only expectation that I really have.
Yeah, I know there's some very general motivations that one could use, such as something like wanting to improve oneself, wanting to learn things, especially for an arcane user, definitely want to learn their sorcerer's power.
Okay.
My real question I'm thinking is, what end of the alignment do I want to end up on? Because I'm thinking starting off with neutral. I'm wanting to think about where I go from there.
Yeah, like I say, that's the more esoteric, and we can get into that when we have an adventure and we see your personality and that sort of thing. You don't have to answer all the questions now, but you wanna have a rough idea of what your character is going to be like.
Yeah, I have a rough idea. I also have a rough idea for what they might be trying to get at the end of the day.
Perfect.
Well, let me go ahead and just quick gander. And a 4 spell.
How are we adding our traits to the character sheet?
Traits you have to do manually. So let's see here. Under your character sheets, under abilities, sometimes I'll put it under racial traits, even though it's not really a racial trait. I'll just click on Edit List, and then I will find the trait under the D20 PFSRD, copy the body for that, and to paste anything into a little box that you'll open up, it's Control V on here. So, for instance, I would, just so it kind of stands out, like say Ray's got a bard, he's a human, and we're in the abilities section. And for racial traits, do you have a rough idea what your racial traits are going to be, Ray? Or what your starting traits are going to be? They don't have to be racial.
Focused mind for the +2 concentration, and then the favored son.
Okay, focused mind. Okay,
Correct.
let me see.
That one's easy because that's a straight up +2 concentration. That's not much going on.
So focused mind. Find it in.
And then there's one that's favored son and daughter, and that
was the
tavern owner connection.
The Sandpoint one.
Yeah. Well, we're not using Sandpoint, but I figure we can modify it from here.
Yeah, definitely.
And that gives a +1 in knowledge local, but also a connection to
the city.
The book calls it a tavern owner, but I like the idea of it being the gambling house that you suggested.
Okay, cool. Focused mind.
I was going to have a tie-in to a gambling house. Maybe we're at the same one.
Perhaps.
The last chance. That's where the characters will meet and the adventure begins.
Okay, I can tie into that.
Cool.
Is there a place to write down, like on your spell sheet, like +1 with School of Magic, +2 with Sub-School, so like actual spell list itself?
What we will do is our good friend Tao will help us make an effect for that.
You keep saying effect.
Okay, so an effect is...
not familiar.
Okay, so an effect is something that we build.
Jim, if I can interrupt for some, if you want to put up the combat tracker, we can show and tell.
Okay, excellent. There we go.
So if you everyone open up the combat tracker there, you'll see 2 creatures and you'll see my character, right? As you click on the very far right, there's a little tiny gray man. Click on it. It should open up the effects, and they'll list my effect on right now as buff attack 2, damage 2. Does everyone see that?
A little gray man?
Yeah, to the very far right on the combat tracker, there are 2 entries, 2 red entries from monsters, and the third one is a green one. That's my character. The combat tracker is far right with the 2 cross swords there. If you click on that icon, it'll open up the combat tracker.
Okay, yeah. So let's start. So under
there it is. It's in tools. Okay.
Under tools, see the cross swords. If you hover over
it.
Okay. So click that, it'll open it. And you'll see an unidentified creature, a canine beast, and then Tal 2.
Yeah.
If you,
right?
I don't know if you can click on Tal's effects or not.
I think you can. If you go all the way to the right, you can barely see a little gray figure. If you click on that little icon, it should open up and you can see under my name there's effects buff attack 2, damage 2. Does everyone can everyone see that or no?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yes.
Okay, so that effect was added on there. So for example, GM, if you threw an attack roll on... No, I should throw the attack roll.
Yeah, throw the attack roll.
So let's say I throw the attack roll on a creature with my attack. I set up the longbow, I make the attack on the canine beast. You see the result. It adds a +3 to my attack.
See where it says effects +2?
In the dialogue window, it says attack longbow effects +2. So that effect is added to my normal bonus, which is +1.
Okay.
So let's say I was buffed and I got an attack +2. It will show up in the roll, right? Let's say
next round that effect wouldn't apply. So now Tal's clicked off on that and he rolls.
Right. So it only lasts for a round. So this is second round. I make the attack again. It will show my base attack, which is at +1. It does not show the additional, right? So those are the effects you can put on there. For example, what class? The Eidolon gets a flanking bonus. You can put a flank bonus on there. And let me add. So I turned it off. Let me add another. I'm gonna call this flank. So I have another. So if you look at on the combat tracker, I just added another effect, right?
You can just turn them on and off.
Yeah, on the right
A little
side.
toggle.
Yep.
Okay.
Right, it toggles on and off, or one round, I believe, where it says the word on. You hover over it, and you click on it. It says skip, off, and on, right? So right now, I only have the flank bonus because I have an ally on the other side. If I make an attack again, assuming I'm not using a longbow and it's a melee weapon, I get that bonus 2 again.
Okay.
So let's say I fall prone.
Yeah, I get the general idea.
Right. So my AC now is -4. And basically, whatever your class special abilities or special bonuses and minus penalties, I'll create them, and then the GM will just drop it over to your character sheet, and you put it on there, and you turn it off or on whenever it applies. For right now, I'm going to turn flank off. And GM, if you use one of the beasts to attack me, my AC will drop by 4.
Sure.
So the base of your stats won't be affected. These effects will show the difference, and it leaves the base stuff alone. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what effects are.
Excellent.
Effects are just basically modifiers that affect the combat.
Are these difficult? Are these difficult to make?
They are not. Once you learn them,
there's a syntax to them.
Yeah, it's online. You can read it. But for the game, I can make a bunch of them on your free time. You can review them. You can practice if you want. It's pretty easy. You create a spell spell section in your actions tab. Although you don't do spells, but the spells section serves to house these effects.
Okay, excellent.
Would that be the same for Bardic Inspiration? I need to
Like everything for every class, you can probably make an effect for.
Yeah, everything that modifies anything, basically.
So I'm thinking I'm going to need to go through and add a lot of things. Yeah, level 1, it'll just be one thing, but
Yeah, that's why we don't do like a whole 18 level of effects. We just do one level at a time, and it'll give us time to learn about these and slowly add them.
Mm-hmm.
Figure it out.
There used to be a handy dandy little program, and I used to be able to just drag and drop on everybody. But
also, if everyone can look at the tools, notice under the cross sword there is a plus/minus modifier. If you click on that, there's some basics effects that are already built in. So if I were to make a touch attack, I click on the touch attack, and that effect is already on. It's not on anywhere that we set up. My next attack on the creature will become a touch attack. See, it says touch there?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So there's some basic ones that are set up. And then next to the plus/minus modifier, there's a little head with some stars, the effects. There's also several effects that are built in. Invisibility, sicken, fatigue. So you don't have to worry about those basic effects. The effects that you want is, based on your class, and they're specific to your classes.
Is there one for simple DC modifiers? Like if you have spell focus?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You would set up in your spell section, and within each spell you can adjust the DC, or you can adjust the DC, like if you picked up a feat, to increase all the DCs, you can put it into the DC of the general tab.
Okay. It's going to be like that. That should be easy.
Yeah. Like if you are spell focus and enchantment, you would only put that DC, raise a DC in the enchantment spells. But if it's for all the spells, you would put it in the base DC, and you can adjust it so all the spells will take that effect.
Yeah. All right.
And you would the way you would do that is you would open up the spell with the magnifying glass and go into the let's see here. Open up the spell with the magnifying glass, and then you would adjust the casting, which is the magnifying glass below the spell and above the actual effect that they have built in.
All right.
Yeah, and
No,
once you
that's-
create your spell section, you have to manually, every time you level up, change your caster level appropriately.
Yeah.
And, like, if you happen to be at higher level, you can do spell penetration, spell focus or whatever. You put that modifier in there. Adjust your main ability score in the ability stats. So all that is kind of worked in there.
Yeah, I think the drag and drop takes care of a lot of that.
Yeah.
What'd you say the name of the casino was? I want to look it up.
Last chance.
Last chance. All right, I'll get everything loaded up for a tank Eidolon over the weekend.
Alrighty.
Yeah. We're targeting in 2 weeks, around 8:30 Eastern.
Yeah, we're going to start around 8:30, hopefully. I know some people can't get in until around 9ish, but that's not a problem.
Do that. Doesn't appear to be showing me a summary.
I'm sorry?
Nothing. Just looking at something
Oh, okay.
and then trying to mess with a few things.
Yeah, I have to figure out how to build the Eidolon.